I'm here today because I am angry. I'm horrified and I am saddened. We're speaking on the backdrop of an act of terror against the Jewish community. Just yesterday, a young man was laid to rest after being assassinated last week outside of a Jewish museum in our nation's capital. Yurin Lashinsky and Sarah Lynn Milgram were gunned down and targeted while walking out of an event at the museum. They were a beautiful young couple. They had their whole lives ahead of them. Just a few days ago, Yurin purchased an engagement ring because he was going to ask Sarah to marry him. They were attending an event hosted by the American Jewish Committee to celebrate American Jewish Heritage Month. According to reports, the gunman made it very clear that his attack was ultimately about Israel. He went to a Jewish institution in search of Jews to indiscriminately murder. The event he chose focused on the critical work that was being done across differences to address humanitarian crises in the Middle East and North Africa, including the Palestinian people in Gaza. In Sarah, he found a victim whose work had been dedicated to building bridges between Israelis and Palestinians. I'm heartbroken, but I am angry. For months, our tiny Jewish community, about 2% of the world's population, has spoken out about fear, and we have only been ignored. We are experiencing this right here at home. I'm hearing from Jewish parents in my community who are afraid to send their children to playgrounds because those children are being targeted. I'm hearing from parents who have children on college campuses who are being met with signs that say death to Jews. This has got to stop. We have been treated like we are hyperbolic, even as people were painting swastikas and passing out anti-Semitic flyers in my very own district. The surge in anti-Semitism targeting Jews and Jewish institutions worldwide following October 7th has been minimized by far too many. We raised our voices, warning about the normalization of rhetoric and actions that demonize and dehumanize most of the world's Jews, only to be met with a shrug. The silence is deafening. Our fears came true. Criticizing the actions of any government is a right we must unequivocally defend. Targeting Jews because of anger about a war is anti-Semitism, and what happened must be called out. It was an act of terror against the Jewish community that we must condemn. To our Jewish community, I say to you that we must not let this hatred and terror keep us from living proudly as Jews. To our non-Jewish community, it's time to be upstanders instead of bystanders, for this is a problem affecting us all. Anti-Semitism has skyrocketed over the past decade, from Pittsburgh to Charlottesville to Washington, D.C. to the streets of Chicago, to hate crimes targeting Jews, to the dramatic rise in post-October 7th anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism undermines the very fabric of our democracy, dividing communities, normalizing extremism, and giving permission to violence. We must respond with urgency. We need to meet this moment. I know that many people have been silent because they don't know what to say or do. So I offer you a simple charge. The way to push back against hate is to communicate with empathy. Communicate empathy for Jews and Muslims, empathy for Israelis and Palestinians. Focus any criticism on the governments and offer your love and support to the people. May the memories of these two young children, in my mind, children, young adults, be for a blessing. May we seek a different way forward than the divisive approach that has become far too normalized. Illinois does have a hotline to report hate crimes. It is 877-45-HATE. If you have experienced any incident of hate in the state of Illinois, and if you fear for your safety or the safety of others, please call 911. We need these reports to take place so our authorities can.
Thanks for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to keep up to date with news from the caucus. For more information on what the senator is working on, please follow them on social media using the links in the description down below.